Welcome, coffee enthusiasts. Today we explore the 5 best ways to brew coffee at home. We'll delve into the art of brewing with 5 distinct methods: pour-over, AeroPress, French press, percolation, and drip coffee makers. Each method has its own unique charm, from the affordability and flavor-enhancing qualities of the pour-over to the convenience of the drip coffee makers. We'll give you a step-by-step guide on each approach, ensuring you uncover the full potential of your coffee beans. Prepare to become your own barista as we dive into the first method. First up, we have the pour-over method, a favorite among coffee lovers for its ability to highlight the true flavors of your coffee beans. This method is an art form, a ritual, and a science all rolled into one that makes a cup of coffee more than just a morning pick-me-up. Let's break down the process. To begin with, you'll need a pour-over cone. This can be ceramic, glass, metal, or plastic. Next, you'll need a paper filter to place inside the cone. Now, onto the coffee beans. For pour-over, medium to light roast beans are ideal as they allow for a more nuanced flavor profile. Grind the beans to a consistency somewhat similar to sea salt. Then, heat your water. The ideal temperature is just off the boil, around 200 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Too hot, and you risk over-extracting the coffee and making it bitter. Too cool, and the coffee may be under-extracted and weak. Now we're ready to brew. Place your pour-over cone with the filter over your cup or coffee pot. Add the ground coffee to the filter. Start the pour-over process by gently pouring just enough water over the grounds to wet them all. This stage, known as the bloom, allows the coffee to degas, leading to a better extraction of flavors. After about 30 seconds, continue pouring the water in a slow, circular pattern, starting from the middle and moving outwards. The goal is to keep the water level consistent, not letting it drop too low or rise too high. Continue this process until you've used all your water. Allow the water to drip through the filter, which should take about 3 to 4 minutes. During this time, the water is pulling out all the flavors from the coffee grounds, resulting in a clean, vibrant cup of coffee. And voila, you have a cup of coffee that's rich in flavors and aroma. The pour-over method might take a little more time and effort, but the result is a coffee experience that's worth every moment. Next, we have the AeroPress method, a versatile and convenient way to brew your coffee. This method is beloved by many for its ability to bring out the nuanced flavors of the coffee beans and for its simplicity of use. To get started, you'll need your AeroPress, a filter, and your favorite coffee beans. For this method, a medium to fine grind is ideal. It strikes a balance between extraction and brew time. Too coarse and your coffee might taste weak, too fine and it could end up over-extracted and bitter. The magic of the AeroPress lies in the pressure. By pressing down on the plunger, you force the water through the coffee grounds at a pressure higher than what you'd get in a typical pour-over. This pressure is the key to extracting those rich, deep flavors from your coffee beans. Begin by placing the filter in the bottom section of the AeroPress and adding your coffee grounds. Then, pour in hot water, ensuring all the grounds are soaked. Now here comes the exciting part, the press. After letting the coffee steep for about a minute, slowly press down on the plunger. As the water filters through the coffee, it picks up all those delightful flavors, delivering a smooth and robust brew straight into your cup. One of the great things about the AeroPress is its versatility. You can experiment with different brewing times, water temperatures, and even invert the AeroPress for a different brewing experience. The possibilities are as endless as they are delicious. And just like that, you have a smooth and flavorful cup of coffee. The AeroPress method, with its convenience and versatility, truly allows you to become your own barista, right in the comfort of your home. Moving on to the French press method, a classic that produces a strong and robust cup of coffee. This brewing method is a favorite among coffee aficionados for its simplicity and unparalleled depth of flavor. The French press immerses coffee grounds in hot water, extracting the flavors directly into the brew, resulting in a bold and full-bodied cup of coffee. Let's dive into the step-by-step guide on how to brew coffee using the French press method. To start, you'll need freshly roasted coffee beans. The quality of your beans plays a significant role in the end result. For the French press, it's best to opt for a medium to dark roast. This will give you that rich and robust flavor that the French press is known for. Next, let's talk about the grind size. Because the French press uses an immersion brewing method, a coarse grind is ideal. Too fine a grind can lead to a bitter taste as the coffee can over-extract. So think sea salt consistency when grinding your beans for the French press. Now, on to the brewing process. Add your coarsely ground coffee to the French press. The ideal ratio is 1 to 2 tablespoons of coffee for every 6 ounces of water. Next, Pour hot water, just off the boil, over the grounds. Give it a gentle stir to ensure all the grounds are fully saturated. Then, place the lid on the French press, but don't plunge just yet. Allow the coffee to steep for around 4 minutes. This is where the magic happens. The coffee grounds and hot water mingle, extracting all the rich flavors and oils from the coffee. Once the 4 minutes are up, slowly press down the plunger. The metal filter will separate the grounds from the brewed coffee. Now pour your coffee immediately to avoid over-extraction. And there you have it, a bold and robust coffee to kickstart your day. Now let's discuss the percolation method, an old-school way to brew your coffee. Percolation, for those not in the know, is an age-old technique that's like the grandparent of modern coffee brewing methods. It's not just about making coffee, it's about creating an experience that takes you back to simpler times. So, how does it work? Well, the percolation method uses a pot that has a small chamber at the bottom for water, and a separate upper chamber for the coffee grounds. Between these two chambers is a tube that carries the heated water from the bottom chamber, forcing it to sprinkle over the coffee grounds. This process repeats until you halt the heat, resulting in a rich and robust coffee. Now let's talk about the kind of coffee beans that work best with this method. Since the percolation method tends to be quite intense, you'll want to go with medium to dark roasted beans. They can withstand the heat and won't turn your coffee into an over-extracted, bitter mess. As for the grind, a coarse grind is your best friend here. It allows the water to permeate through, extracting the right amount of flavor without causing a bitter taste. And what about the brewing time? Well, that's a bit of a delicate dance. Typically it takes around 7 to 10 minutes. However, it's crucial to keep an eye on it. If you let it go on for too long, you might end up with a coffee that's too strong or bitter for your liking. On the other hand, if you cut it off too soon, you'll be left with a weak, under-extracted brew. So timing is everything. Remember, the percolation method is not just about brewing coffee, it's about relishing the process, the anticipation, and ultimately, the rich, robust flavors that it delivers. And there you go, a nostalgic cup of coffee reminiscent of the good old days. Finally, we have drip coffee makers, a convenient way to brew large quantities of coffee. Drip coffee makers are a time-honored classic in many households, admired for their convenience and the delightful aroma they fill the room with as they work their magic. To use this tool first, you'll need to choose your coffee beans. Medium to dark roast beans work best in a drip coffee maker, as they can withstand the heat without becoming overly bitter. Now let's talk grind size. A medium grind is typically the best choice. It's coarse enough to prevent over-extraction, yet fine enough to allow for a flavorful brew. Once you've chosen and ground your beans, you'll want to add them to the coffee maker's filter. Then simply add water to the reservoir and allow the machine to do its thing. As hot water drips through the ground coffee beans, it extracts their flavors and drips into a pot below. And voila, you have a pot of delicious coffee ready to serve. With drip coffee makers, waking up to the smell of freshly brewed coffee is just a timer setting away. And there you have it, the 5 best ways to brew coffee at home. From the flavor-focused pour-over method to the versatile AeroPress. The classic French press, robust and strong, to the distinctive percolation process. And let's not forget the convenience of drip coffee makers. Each method has its unique charm and advantages, promising a great coffee experience. We've explored these methods and now it's your turn. Which method do you prefer or plan to try? We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Happy brewing!